What is happening, guys? Let's check out this beautiful 1992 Washburn N4 Nuno Bettencourt signature Davies built. That's right. This is a Stephen Davies built N4, just like the very few 1990 models, and all of the 91s were made by Stephen Davies. The early 92 N4s were made by Stephen Davies for just a couple months. And then Washburn had the ingenious idea to import bodies and necks from Japan and have them assembled in the U.S. By Stephen Davies and his team. And those are called what they call a transitional Davies. And basically, what that means is Stephen and his team put them together, and but the bodies and necks were actually imported from Japan. And then they switched to the kind of more common N4. They started this body shape. The body shape was kind of the same, but it had different back plates on it. So instead of it having this pill shaped back plate back here and a more rounded off back plate down here, they were kind of more squared off. This was changed to more of a almost like a squarish, triangle-y looking thing, that looks nothing like this. So if you see a 92, for it to be a Davies, it needs to have these back plates, it needs to have a Kaler Steeler tremolo on it, and it needs to have the Kaler nut up there. If you see one of these 92s that has the different back plates and has a Floyd on it, it's not a Davies. Sorry, hate to break it to you. That is the model that they made after the transitional. It has nothing to do with Davies. So anyway, and that's just a fact. Many of the employees that worked for Davies back then have confirmed this online, have confirmed the whole Japanese body and neck thing. And to find a 92 Davies, it has to be a very early 92. A lot of people kind of shunned away from the 92 models because they had several different variations in 92. Most people, like myself, for the longest time have considered a Davies just to be a 90 or a 91. I've got really educated on these things here in the last couple months, and a good friend of mine posted some stuff about serial numbers and kind of put the breakdown of what happened in 92. And so super cool guitar. This one's had a couple modifications. It had a detuna put on it, which is awesome, just like Nuno's #1 guitar. And whoever had it before put one of those string tree things on it. I took that off. So Nuno's old #1 that is now retired, it had a string tree on it at one time, and he took it off, and it has these fang holes just like this thing. So I don't mind that at all. As far as other stuff, previous owner put a trim stop on it, a really nice one, very well installed. This guitar did also come with the Kaler auto lock system on it. I took it off because I don't like the way that it makes the Floyd or the tremolo feel. It actually goes right here, and then a little bar would go through here, and it has like a little hinge to it. And you can actually feel that thing when you're moving the bar, even when it's unlocked. So I just don't like them. I took it off. Every 91 Davies that I've ever owned never had that on it. That was an option. You could go in and you could install it on it if you wanted to. The 92 Davies, every one I've seen had that actually come from the factory. So yeah, I've already put the leopard print strap locks on it. This one's got a little bit of bird's eye maple to the little bit of bird's eye in there. There's a serial number, early 92. And I'm really super stoked to have this guitar. It plays so good. And I have to tell you, outside of the 901, this guitar plays and sounds better than any, not only any Davies that I've had, but any M4 that I've ever had, because it's like having a Davies, but I think by the time they got to 92, I think they had gotten a little bit better at building these things. This guitar feels a lot more stable than some of the early 91s that I've had. The neck feels super tight on it. I really just had to change the strings on this thing and adjust the trim on it, and it was good to go. When you get you get a really well-made Davies, the coolest thing about it is everything just lines up. There's not a whole lot of adjustments that need to be made. Like, you can take this tremolo and just make it flat with the body, and the strings are just the perfect height. That much thought went into it. Every other guitar out there, it might be a little bit higher, it might be a little bit lower to make it where it needs to be, to make the strings and the action be where it needs to be. And yeah, this one's in really awesome shape. Got a little bit of wear on the front, got a little bit of age to it. Looks really cool. Whoever had it was not very heavy-handed because the frets look brand new. And polished those all up, got it all cleaned up. Let's take a look at the back again. Like I said, it's got the Davies covers on it, and that's what makes a Davies in 1992. Check it out. This one has to me, it feels like it's got a beefy neck for an N4. So, yeah. Like I said, I already got the leopard print strap locks on it. This one I plan on keeping. It would take a large chunk of money to get this thing out of my hands. So let's go into the backstory. I have been N4 less for a couple months now. I bought the one that belonged to the guy from Darkest Hour and sold it. Had a couple of 4Ns and a couple other guitars. I've had a couple Davies here in the last 6 months. Got a buddy of mine that bought a couple of those guitars. And I ordered a new N4 from Guitar Center. It was on sale. When it arrived, it wasn't in a Washburn box. So I had my suspicions up, and sure enough, I opened it up and it was somebody else's return, and it was very rough, and returned that guitar. Then I bought a custom 4N that I'll post a video about, and that was a super awesome guitar, really super cool guitar, but I just wasn't digging the relic job that was on it. So I ended up returning that guitar, and literally the day after I shipped that guitar back, this thing pops up. So I go to the what do you call it? The Asheville Guitar Show here in North Carolina, and I was just looking around there. So I hop on the line when I'm about to leave there, and I'm doing a search trying to find me an N4, and I really didn't care. I wasn't too picky. I just wanted another N4 at a decent price. This thing pops up, and I'm looking at the pictures, and of course somebody had put a 4N sticker on the front of it, so that kind of threw me off when I started looking at it. But then I saw the back of it, and I saw these covers, and I was like, wow, that's either a Japanese, an early 90s Japanese N4, which they look a lot like a Davies, or it's an actual Davies. So then the next picture pops up, and it's that. And I was like, oh my God. So then I get to the next picture, and it is that. And it's got the Kaler on it. So I knew it was a Davies. And I bought this thing for about the price of a regular used N4. Actually, probably about $500 less than that. So I got a hell of a deal on it. It was the deal of a century. And like I said, I do plan on keeping this one. And this is exactly what I was looking for, plus a lot more. So I feel super blessed to have found this. I also have a what they call a Davies style 91 N2, which is crazy, stupid rare. That's supposed to be arriving here any day now. I'll make a video on that and kind of compare that guitar to this guitar, because that guitar was made in 91, and it's basically N4 without the Stevens cutaway, and a little bit cheaper tremolo that I plan on swapping out on that. But let's get back to this thing, ebony fretboard. And like I said, it's a Davies. Super excited. Hope you guys dig the video. I am taking this to my buddy Jake here in a couple days and having him to help me just adjust that D-tuner. But it does work, and it works awesome. It just needs to be kind of fine-tuned a little bit. And other than that, man, I put some strings on this thing, and everything just lined up perfect. Doesn't need anything. Super tight, well-built guitar. And like I said, it seems a little bit more stable than some of the 91s that I had. So really super stoked about that. I do have my buddies at Washburn tracking me down a newer Washburn case, because the original case for this thing is nowhere to be found. So we're going to put it in a new Washburn case, and just absolutely love this guitar. Wanted to share it with everybody. Hope you guys are having an awesome day, and we'll see you next time.